Hey everybody, this is Collector Dude. I'm back with part 3 of the Marvel posters book by Alex Ross. This is awesome, just beautiful artwork. I just can't get over this. I mean, every time I look at that, I look through all of it over and over again as I keep doing the video. It's just beautiful art. Everything. I'm going to start off with Shang-Chi this time. Here he is here, just like the comic book. You see him in real life. If you saw him in real life, he looked like this. This is cool. I mean, let's start with this. See what Alex has to say about this guy, how he describes him. The emerging martial arts movement had no greater representative and success story in comics than Shang-Chi, he says. In part, it may have been simply due to the fact that it was unique to have a lead Asian character answer a newfound interest and maturing of the art form in the 1970s. But it was largely due to the work of exceptional artists who defined their careers while working on this character. Among these many great talents were extraordinary story runs done by comic book legends Paul Gulacy, yep, Mike Zeck, yeah, and Gene Day. Cool. I found some really cool Master of Kung Fu books at half-price books. I have to show some flip-throughs to him someday. Let's see, what else does he say? He says, the inventive physicality of illustrating the Chinese martial art of Kung Fu was key to how engrossing the comics were. Shang-Chi's actions felt like something one might learn from and master as he did. The detailed musculature of his tight, lean form made an impression that was unlike any other costume wearing or enhanced comic book creations. Yep. Cool. Let's see, he says, for my figure pose, I attempted to follow a fighting gesture that I picked out of some of the comics. I admit to no practical martial arts knowledge myself, but I embraced a visual expression that felt right. And the unified mural shot, I must apologize for, he says here, his right foot's proximity to the Human Torch, which would definitely burn him. Let's imagine the Invisible Woman is creating an invisible force field that shields both her and Shang-Chi from harm. Let's see, I'm going to flip to that real quick so you can see what he's talking about. There's this big poster back here. See, he's got his foot right there next to the Human Torch's foot back there, and he's saying the Invisible Woman would probably be shielding him because, yeah, you see, he would get burned for sure. Okay, let's close this up. I'll get back to that in just a second. Okay, let's go with Daredevil this time. Daredevil looks really cool. I like to get his standee. Get a standee and stand him next to all the different characters back here. Like I said, I've had these. I got these here. I got Thor, Captain America, Silver Surfer, and Iron Man there. And like I said, Silver Surfer's shield is too tall for the ceiling, so I have to keep it bent down like that. But hopefully I'll get a... fix it one day where I can get a taller ceiling in here so I can do that. But look how cool his costume looks. He looks cool. I was thinking about doing like a logo and using something like this and put CD, have Collector Dude, so I can figure out how to do that. I don't know if it'd be copying, but I know there's so much other stuff people do, stuff like that, but something like that might be kind of cool. Put a C and a D. Okay, let's get back to this. Let's do Daredevil. Let's see what he says about Daredevil. He says, some of the best comics written or drawn have been about this hero, having a unique design evolution from three comics legends, Jack Kirby and Bill Everett, with Wally Wood ultimately revising and defining the Daredevil we know today. Very cool. There's almost like two different color reds. It's like a darker maroonish type red, and then kind of like a bright red on the boots. Well, this isn't leather, but this will be leather, like leather boots and the gloves and stuff like that, and the belt, and then like the DD. Cool. Okay, let's see what else he says. His storytellers have often been some of the best the art form has known. Although Daredevil was blind, his other enhanced senses provided him with skills he could develop and gave him one of the most engaging points of view in comics, cinema, and television. Very cool. The creative challenge of dramatizing his day job as a lawyer balanced with his superhero side inspired writing that set a very high bar for others who followed. Intellectually, Matt Murdock, Daredevil, has consistently been one of the easiest characters for readers to identify with as well. Artistically, I feel the look that most defines him comes from Gene Colan. I was going to say that too because I remember seeing Gene Colan all the time. Colan's work spans one of Daredevil's longest artist runs. Cool. From the 60s through the 70s, and he always gave a bigger, impressive frame to that hero. Wow. This idolized archetypal superhero bulk made him seem like Marvel's everyman, wearing costume to fit that mold. Yeah. He's thick. Okay. A weird challenge when depicting Daredevil has always been his red-black clothing. Whereas Hollywood used charismatically placed shadows to accentuate his devil moodiness, I've mostly gone after a velvet finish that creates large, dark impressions with bright red highlighting. But I have no answers for what he would actually wear if he were real. Yeah. Kind of like when you see him on a TV show, though. It kind of gives you an idea like what he would wear if he were real. Very cool. All right. Let me get the next one. Okay, we're going to go with Doctor Strange. Look how cool. See, pull back. You see the cape and everything. That is cool. Okay. Let's see what he says about Doctor Strange. One of Steve Ditko's greatest contributions to comics is his concept for the sorcerer, superhero, and the fantastic, artistically imaginative realms he would visit. Since the Doctor could project his body through space in a ghostly astral form, he could travel to dimensions beyond our own and encounter unnatural threats that pushed the limits of what artists had drawn before. Okay. Throughout early 20th century fiction, much was made of Caucasian protagonists going off to the Far East to find enlightenment and to master either magic or fighting skills. Yeah. This is cool. And it's cool when you see him in the movies and everything, how they changed him up just slightly a little bit. And everything, that they gave him different walking boots and everything. And the way they made the cape and the bodysuit and everything. Very cool. Let's see. Doctor Strange's story becomes the surviving popular take on this trope, where everything he is comes from that journey. The cape and amulet of Strange are his most distinctive emblems, with the graphic shape of a demon reaching upward on his shirt. That's wild. And see, what else does he say here? Doctor Strange's story becomes the surviving popular take on this trope. I get that already. Make sure that the cape and amulet of Strange are his most distinctive emblems. So it says that with the graphic shape of a demon reaching upward on his shirt. That's what I was trying to see. I didn't see how that is. I guess that the stripe there, because he's got it covered up. I didn't see. Okay. Now he says Ditko was not intentionally clothing the superhero initially, but the tinting of blue on the black of Strange's clothes led to the colorful augmentation most heroes go through. Strange is also one of Marvel's group of older superheroes who sport gray temples. That's cool. Like up in there. Cool. Which was itself a bit of an innovation for the company in seeking to embrace a wider range of people and ages who make up the genre. That's cool. I like how just all the detail, like on the gloves and everything, they make them a little bit different in the movie. Everything, they're all leather. Everything, but the cape is pretty much almost the same. Very cool. Maybe this isn't the cape up there isn't as high and everything, but he looks really cool. Okay, let me jump to the next one. Oh, look what we got here. Look at the detail on the gun. The Punisher. And that face. Very cool. I like how you envision that, the boots and everything. It doesn't kind of looks almost silver the way he did it. And the knife, or is this a little gun down here? Gun on the hip, cool. And the bullets on the belt, that's cool too. And I think that's how he was when he first made him, wasn't it? He had bullets on there instead of just a graphic and a belt. Very cool. Okay, nice says about the Punisher. Rounding out the portraits in this Marvel mural project is the purest vigilante anti-hero, Punisher. His popularity rose with contemporary culture's perception of crime being out of control, and the entertainment world's depiction of vigilante justice is the only reasonable response. The first Frank Castle Punisher concept sketch came from John Romita Sr., where he stylishly incorporated a skull chest emblem into a row of exposed bullets serving as its teeth. Wow. The Punisher's original white gloves and boots seem to indicate a careful, clinical precision to his violent work. Yep. The character's first introduction saw him tasked to assassinate Spider-Man, which luckily he failed to do. And he has mostly remained on the periphery of society's acceptable superheroes who don't kill people regularly, although Wolverine gets included somehow. The Punisher's story is one of incredible loss, which he responds to with unending vengeance. Yeah. In some respects, the Punisher serves the purpose of showing the lessons of a life compromised, walking the line between defending the innocent and being a greater threat himself. Yeah. It's really cool. I like that belt, everything. That is so cool. And he's just really angry. All right, let me grab some more, see what other ones we can show you in this video. Now, who do we have here? Look at this. SpiderMan. Very cool. Shiny. Real small pictures, like the way he's down on the thing. If you framed him and everything, it'd just be all open above on him. So let's zoom in on him and see what Alex has to say about him. Okay, what can I say about the hero who got me into comics and sparked the focus for my art and life? That is so cool. Probably too much. Spider-Man's first impression on me was as a real person wearing a costume, thanks to Danny Seagreen playing him on the Electric Company TV show. Yeah, I remember that. It has always been to my mind how to visualize what Spider-Man looked like in reality. Yeah. Mostly I just wanted to be him, or at least dress like him. I remember seeing pictures of him as a kid dressed like Spider-Man. My son used to do that too. He dressed in a Spider-Man suit. We'd wait for my daughters to come home on the bus before he went to school, and he dressed as Spider-Man, waiting for him at the bus stop with me. He was so cute, cool. Now, but okay. The costume that Steve Ditko crafted was perfect in its effectiveness to survive the ages. Yeah, it was. Very cool. And I think they said it was initially black, red and black, and they made it blue, or something like that. That's what I remember reading that somewhere. But the mask became a face with carefully placed webs that indicated the nose and mouth as lines and a natural design pattern. If there is a pair of eyes more attractive in comics, I can't think of them. The later interpretation that John Romita Sr. created carried over into my childhood and inspired countless artists like me. As the look of Marvel's upstart superhero hero line refined, Romita's style became the defining look. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, it just I saw John Romita Sr. That's all I saw when I saw him as a character. I remember seeing the other versions and everything, but seeing Romita Jr. or Romita Sr.'s version of him was the way I thought he looked. Okay. Let's see. Romita's style became the defining look. I feel like that Romita's Spider-Man is the best looking character in comics history, and his work is what I try to emulate. Cool. I've constructed reference props to draw from, including a hand-sewn mask I painted lines on, as well as a life-size sculpture I collaborated on with artist Mike Heel, which I often use as my basis for photography. Cool. Everything. Okay. More recently, I have tried to imitate the darker red paint color that Mike Hill did on the bust, which is meant to indicate a well-worn look for the costume. Cool. If he is swinging in the polluted air of a congested major city, he's probably not going to look that clean for very long. Yeah. Man. Plus all the fights he gets in and all the dust and the sewer water and everything else he gets into. How many suits did he make when you think about it in the comic books and have to wash and clean and everything? And so, wow. All right, let me get another one here, see what we got. Ooh, we got SpiderWoman. Very cool. Jessica Drew. Very cool. She looks cool. Got silver eyes on her as well. Let's see what he's got to say about SpiderWoman. I felt I had identified the full Marvel lineup of core characters when I was 8 years old, so SpiderWoman's arrival still sticks in my brain as being one of the new heroes. Her creation may have been produced by the need to preserve the claim to the character name, but she was slowly refined over her inaugural appearances to dazzle readers and become one of the greatest looking Marvel heroes. Cool. She was positioned up front with the most iconic leads for Marvel's merchandising in the late 70s and 80s, and even launched her own short-lived cartoon show. I remember that. Let's see, I remember they did the one with Brian Michael Bendis too. What was it, HBO or something like that? They had it on there. Let's see. I fell for her immediately and did not feel a sense of her being derivative of Spider-Man. I just loved that Marvel had such a compelling and much-needed lead female character with her own book. Cool. Her history of holding her own series lasted longer than the other superheroines who tried before, but she was still cut short. I like how that cape looks. That's cool. You can see through it there. With like the spider webs bigger than what they show for Spider-Man, hanging down like that. That's pretty cool. Like she can glide, like a gliding spider or something. Okay. Although they never killed her off, her name was granted to another woman for a time, and her alter ego of Jessica Drew was still out there somewhere. Yeah, how many Spider-Woman they got? They got just a few of them. Just a few. Fandom has Brian Michael Bendis to thank for pushing her for her full revival to the status she had when we were kids. Now her part of Marvel lore and licensing is closer to what she deserves. Cool. Very cool costume. I like it when they did it in the Marvel comics with David Finch when he did his run on the Avengers. Very nice. Cool. Let's see who else we can add to this. Oh, here we go. Black Bolt. He's cool. I liked him in the movie too and everything, but they just what Scarlet Witch did, wow. Very cool. Let's see. His costume looks really cool. I like how they did him. It's really busy moving around. It seems like George Perez took hints from Jack Kirby when he designed costumes on different stuff like Nightwing and everybody. Let's see. Very muscular. Let's see what he looks like here. And just the zigzag designs. That's cool. Let's see what he has now. Okay, Black Bolt. Legend has it that Jack Kirby brought in concepts for Black Bolt and Black Panther at the same time. Having been tasked with creating new lead hero properties to launch from the Fantastic Four book. The objective was allegedly to pull something similar to a superhero TV sensation of 1966 and make it Marvel style. Black Bolt kicked the fantastic monarchy angle of the Panther up a notch by establishing a whole royal family of superhuman characters who were uniquely varied in their humanity. Okay, the actual kingdom of the Inhumans was a city of the future hidden away in the Himalayan mountains. The city's location was moved multiple times in the years that followed. Okay, as a notable representation of disability, Black Bolt was unable to speak. Okay, let's get a little closer to him. Unable to speak. Cool. His costume is cool. I wonder if anybody's ever done a cosplay of him. I think they have, but I'm not sure. Okay. This limitation was a byproduct of his immense power. Okay, where the slightest sound from his lips might level his surroundings. Wow. The slick black suit he wears has hardly been updated. Kirby translated an electrical graphic into the suspender straps, with folding steel fans under Black Bolt's arms and a tuning fork on his forehead. Yep. Very cool. None of that sounds right on paper, yeah. But countless fans like me are entranced with the assembled design. It is cool. Real simple. Cool. The approach I've tried to assert of his is of his black suit having a wet, glossy look, avoiding the blue tinting that often happens to dark costumes in comics when highlights are added. I like how he did that. So it's just all black. Everything, that's cool. All right. We'll add one more on there. See if we can get another one in here. Here we go. Who's this? Medusa. Beautiful. Just cool. And see, just like how Jack does, he's just like a full-figured woman. He likes curvy women. Very, very full. Thick girls. He does that like with all the Forever people and all that as well. Anybody? Very cool. Let's see. Now what do we have here? With Medusa, he says, before the group known as the Inhumans was established or created, Medusa made her mark as a strong female adversary for the Fantastic Four. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember her on there. I remember Jack Kirby and John Byrne for sure. Partnered with the Frightful Four, a somewhat corresponding quartet looking to defeat the Fantastic Four, and their book, Medusa became the breakout star of that team. Eventually throwing off her bad guy association, she was revealed to have a more expansive background, representing a previously unknown culture and breed of humankind. Cool little straps on the boots, and continued on the gauntlets and everything on their gloves. Okay, she was the first Inhuman to cross over to the modern world, and we were later introduced to her family, which included her sister Crystal and their king and Medusa's betrothed, Black Bolt. Given that Black Bolt couldn't speak, Medusa acted as his mouthpiece, but she also had her own agency, having previously left the Inhuman kingdom of Attilan, Adelon, or however you want to pronounce it, as she would choose to do repeatedly over the years. When Susan Storm Richards temporarily left the Fantastic Four, Medusa stepped into her spot on the team. Cool. Medusa has had a number of costumes over the years, including a green-colored standout by John Romita Sr., and most of them favored purple mauve tones. The mask appearance of many of the Inhumans bore no practicality, since none of them had secret identities and seemed instead to be cultural presentations of their royal family. I've always tried to establish an impressive bulk to Medusa's hair, considering its extended reach and ability, but the proportions are purely subjective. Very cool. All right, let me see if I'm going to add another one on here. I'm going to break it down here. I'm going to start another video with another ones. I'm going to try to keep the Avengers together and the X-Men together as well. So this will be the last one. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think. This is a very good book. If you want to get one of these books, I'll leave it in the comments below. I got it off of Amazon. It'll be in the description, so you can see, and I'll leave the also in the description where I got my standees. All of these up here. I put it in all the description of all the videos that I have done. So, but this was the last one here. But thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and Collector Dude is out.